guys, Chris here, back from the range, St. Louis West. I got the brand new TriggerTech trigger for Glocks. It's the Ace trigger system. Right now we've just got the straight blade ones. So let's take it out. So there is your new shoe. You'll notice that there's a springy back there instead of having the dingus in the front. You'll notice this is your back plate. It looks a little odd. This is actually the reset bar that's in their system. It totally changes the way your Glock works. And then this is your trigger housing. So inside of this thing, it's got little toggles and switches and all kinds of roller bearings, and I don't even know how to explain it. Check out our video from SHOT Show. You can see the 3D cutaway. See a little bit more inside there. And then inside here, we've got, looks like a little tool. That's got to be for pressing stuff out and adjusting all our adjustments. And then we've got a whole bunch of springs to kind of swap stuff out in there. And then we've got the instruction manual. So the instruction manual gives you all kinds of gobbledygooks. All of their warranty stuff is up in front. Gives you all the bits and the bobs and all that good stuff. And then once you get it back together, it does give you ways to tweak it, to change everything around there. I do want to point out one thing for you Gen 5 guys. There is a little tab that sticks up in the back of the frame that we're going to have to remove. It's not a safety thing, it's nothing. According to the TriggerTech guys, they talked to the Glock designers and they said there's nothing in there that's going to cause a foul. It's just a way to help try and keep dust down from inside the parts on the Glock side. So switching over to the TriggerTech, we don't need that anymore. So it is one thing that you're going to have to do that's a permanent modification to your Glock. So if that's the thing that you're into, well, you're going to have to tweak some stuff. But let's go ahead and start off. We're at our Glock 45. This is our 45 off of our range. So everything inside of there is clear. We're just going to take that down and disassemble it like normal. And we're going to reach inside. Now, I know this thing is not clean. We get it. It's literally just pulled straight off of the range. But inside here and back here is where you're going to change your plunger springs if we need that. So we're going to hold off right now. We'll set those pieces aside because we'll get back to that. On the lower frame from there, we're just going to punch out the rear trigger pin or the rear housing pin, front trigger pin. And so we got those guys out. And now we're going to start pulling stuff out. Let's see. All right, we got our locking block. Get all our bits and bobs off of there. All right, so I know we're going to need the takedown lever. I know we're going to need that. And so here's the parts that are going to go back in. So first thing we're going to start with is we can start with our trigger bar. I'm not sure if this is how the instructions are going there. I haven't watched them or otherwise, but we're going to play anyway. So my trigger bar can go in. Now this is just going to sit in the groove back in here. And that's going to go down in the back end. Put our slide stop back in, trunnion back in, and that's how things will go. Now, see that little tab sticking up? That's the part we're going to have to remove. You'll notice that it sticks up in front of the channel. So let's pull this stuff out. Now that we know that everything fits inside, make sure we can get that trimmed off. Now, they say that it doesn't take anything really fancy, so I'm gonna take a real nice sharp knife and I'm just gonna polish that sucker off right smooth with the end. Boom. Now I've gotten rid of that rear tab, so now when I put my back plate on, it's gonna slide right in there and cover up nicely. So there we go. All right, there we go. So Let me show that to you while we're in there. So on the side here, you'll notice that we have a little nubbin and we have a little hook. So that's actually going to go around in here and it's going to sit inside there. So a little bit different than your regular Glock one. But again, this changes everything about the way your Glock functions. All right, now that's all the way down. All right. Like I said, guys, first time going through this, so you might have to speed some of this up. All right, so we got the bottom end together. I'm going over the top, put my striker back in, and then I'm going to replace it with a new striker plate. All right, so my new striker plate goes in. You'll notice that fits and fills in your disconnector. Ho, 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 ho. So let's take a little gander at that sucker. So on there, that's all the take up I got. It's about that far, and then it breaks. A little bit of a squish. And then that's reset. And that's it. That's all the movement in there. So now that we got that done, let's go see how it shoots. Hey guys, Chris here, back at the range. I have the TriggerTech Ace Glock trigger system in our range 45. Yes, you're gonna be able to come in and shoot this gun with this trigger. As soon as we put it back out there, we've already had customers that have already tried it. Sneak peek. So, again, this is just at the factory level with the regular springs. You guys just saw me put it in, so here we go. That trigger is really short on a reset, and if you don't actually let the trigger go, it doesn't do the reset. So you do have to actually let go of the trigger. So if you just hold the trigger to the back, only one shot comes out. Wait, that kind of reminds me of another thing. So yes, if you pull the trigger to the rear, one shot comes out, and then it doesn't do anything after that until you let go and pull it again. It's not a machine gun. That's awesome right at that range. However, I'm gonna take it apart, and all I gotta do is take the top off, set my little set screw. Anybody that's dealt with TriggerTech triggers knows that you can just simply tweak it. So we're just gonna loosen it up a little bit. So effectively, I've dropped it by a couple of pounds, maybe a pound. So let's throw a couple of rounds in here. Let's see how it does with a little bit less of the trigger force on it. And there's a ton of springs in there, so you can go all the way down to, I believe it's like 2.5 pounds, which might be a little light for somebody that's gonna carry it, but for a competitor, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Glock guy, everybody knows that, but this makes this one of the nicest shooting pistols. That is fantastic. Come in, check us out, 14803 Manchester Road in beautiful Baldwin, where yes, we put cool triggers in our rental guns so you can try it before you buy it. Come check us out, guys.